because I got you totally set up, and you're going to drop a line on me. Well, Scott, this is nothing at all of what you promised. You're right.
It's the Scott and Alley Not For Air podcast. The rules are gone. The shirt is untucked. Here's Scott and Alley.
Was that it?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to rip one out.
No, it was just one of those. Like,
It was one of... Hold on, I got to burp.
it's one of those Diet Coke.
I thought you were going to just be like, bleh.
No. I don't burp big. Just fart big.
Yes, you do.
I think I'm a dainty like a flower.
No, you are absolutely not dainty like a flower.
Yes,
Ooh,
I am.
I'm going crooked on you.
Yes, I am. Well,
Hey.
that sounds like a you problem.
Hey, Brave New World.
What does that even mean?
It's exactly.
Crooked, Brave New World.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
Nothing does. Hey, welcome to the Scott and Alley Not For Air podcast with a prelude.
I've been waiting for this update. So when I talked
You
to
are
you,
going to make such fun of me.
when I talked to you, I don't know, Sunday or Monday, and I said, it was Monday. And I said, is your house guest still there? This is from last week's episode.
Yeah.
And because if you have not listened to it, basically the gist is Scott had a house guest that he owed him a favor.
I felt very obligated.
Yes, Scott stayed with him, I don't know, 6 months ago or so?
Yeah, more like almost 8.
Okay.
It actually was 8 months ago.
8 months ago, you stayed with him for like an entire week.
Yeah.
And I know that the guy has a setup where it's a lot more roomier, it sounds like, or like separated of...
More separated.
Right. And then he asks if he can stay with you.
Well, I offered it. Originally, I had offered it,
Oh,
so
I
I
didn't know
gotta be clear on that, because I'm like, well, I should repay the favor, and I had said, well, yeah, you can come out. Now you gotta realize.
No, you
something.
said that probably a long time ago, or did you say that recently?
I did, but then I redid it because, again, I felt obligated. I felt like I needed to return the favor. I thought that was the honorable thing to do.
Because I've done that before. Oh, yeah, you can stay with us anytime. And then the time comes, I'm like, oh, shit, I really didn't.
That's kind of the way it went. But listen, I want to be real straight on this. Both of our lives were at different places when that original offer was made and where it is now. Like it is.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Hang on.
Oh, sorry.
So his house is very separate as far as like you were staying in a lower level. He was in an upper level.
For the most part.
If you've never been to Scott's house, which most of you have not, all the bedrooms are in the hallway. They all share a hallway. It is kind of, for such a large house, the bedrooms are compact in one area. Everything else is very spread out. Like, you've got the cathedral living room. You've got everything else is just so large. Large kitchen, large living room, large basement. So, okay, now let's fast forward. Yes, you're with somebody new. You have the kids there. You have the kids' schedule. All of that.
Yeah.
So from last week's episode, in case you didn't miss it, but I'm still going to give you a quick update in case you did, this guy came in and did not leave the greatest of marks on your current girlfriend. Maybe a little bit of a stain, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I understand why. I mean, and again, it comes down to very, very different lifestyles. I mean, which can lead to impressions of someone that whether they're right or wrong, they pick up a different impression than, let's say, I would. I knew him as one way, but everybody perceives someone in a different way, and my friend is very much in a bachelor mode of things get left around.
He has no kids.
Yeah,
he
has kids, but they're all grown and out. Oh, they're grown and out. Yeah, they're all they're full adults with kids of their own.
He's doing like Bachelor 2.0 then, because
very much. Yes,
no significant other that is significant.
No, not at all.
And also the way he talks, especially the way you described him in the last episode. I don't know why I never got the vibe that he had kids.
Yeah, very much has kids, grown kids, and they all have kids of their own, I believe for the most part, or lives of their own at this point.
He's a grandpa? Oh my God. You guys, if you ever saw him, he does not look like a grandpa.
No, actually, this is the second person that I've run into recently. An old friend of ours that we used to work with floored me and said last weekend when I talked to him and actually saw him, He goes, yeah, I got 8 grandkids. I go, what? You have 8 grandkids? He's my age. So you think that, you make fun of me?
I think if your daughter was a different person, then you could possibly have some grandkids too. She's to that age where she could.
I mean,
thank God she doesn't.
my
because
oldest
she's,
daughter, by the way.
Right. She's 22, right?
Yes.
22.
Yeah, I mean, it's plausible.
Right. You could be a grandpa. You're just not.
No, I'm not.
So besides, did we talk about him going through the stuff?
Okay,
I don't remember if we talked about that on the last episode.
I don't remember
or not.
either, but I'll give you so this was part of the rub the wrong way, which I have to respect because I know my friend has an extremely dry sense of humor, very dry. Like, I mean,
you did say that on the last episode. Yeah.
We're sarcastic, and we kind of, we love sarcasm, and we thrive on it. He is extraordinarily dry, so unless you kind of can realize that that's just really dry. When someone says, oh, I was looking, I was doing this, and then the other person goes, yeah, I already went through everything. I know.
He's one of those guys like, you don't know. Is he kidding?
Yes. Did he or is it a joke?
Right.
Yeah. And listen, I've been accused on the sarcasm department of going too hard for the jugular. Like, instead of going, like, oh yeah, you're ugly. I'll be like, yeah, you're ugly. And people and
I don't find you to be overly sarcastic, to be honest with you.
No, but sometimes I push that a little bit too far. Like, I know that I'm totally going for the joke, but I sell it. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I'll really sell it all the way out, as opposed to like breaking the fourth wall where, you're sitting there, you're like, oh, I know. Ha, ha, ha. You know what I mean? I go right in for it.
I think you're more like, your humor more is like goofy and quick one-liners. I never find you to be the dry guy.
No, but sometimes my one-liners come so quick because I'm a very reactionary one-liner person.
Yeah.
So sometimes they're so quick and I don't necessarily give a big reaction afterwards that it can be perceived as, oh, was that that was kind of mean almost. And
maybe
I never
that's outside of the show because Scott gives a one-liner and then he looks at me during the show is like, did you get that? Did you get that? And I'm like, yeah, I heard it. I
don't know. Sometimes I think it happens, but it's like, it's a mix of dark sarcasm, but I don't mean it. And I never mean any of it. If I'm diffusing with humor, I'm diffusing with humor just literally to go, you know what? Tension lifter needed. That's all. Tension breaker needed.
That's interesting because that is not who you are at work.
Well, maybe it escalates in different areas when it's more personal. I don't know. I don't know how it gets more personal than with you. I mean, my God, sitting around here for as long as we have. But anyway, I come back to this. So my friend, very, very dry. Yeah. Also, kind of follow-y aroundy. When you're, well, first of all, it's a weird mix. He has very different hours because, again, he's very much in bachelor mode and his hours are completely polar opposites from ours. And he has a lifestyle and he might be up till 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. having a conversation with someone or whatever. I don't know who else is up at 2 a.m. because I'm not. But anyway, and I'm talking on the phone. And then, sometimes I'll give you a great example. When we get up in the morning, we're moving around. We're packing lunches, we're making breakfast. I've got to get myself. Sometimes I'll pack for 60:59 to send something out because I'm making something. We both have to go. It's a movement type thing. And my buddy also is one of these kind of follow-y aroundy kind of guys. So I think it's a interesting mix of very bachelor etiquette in a house that's not set up like that anymore at all. So that's where that's a piece of the discomfort. Did you think that he just misses you as a friend and he wants to be around you? No, he was following even 60:59 around. So it was one of those things where it's tough to describe. But okay, so you mix now the fact that he's in second phase of bachelor life. Okay, so let's go late. He's closer to my age. So let's go. He's got this later bachelor thing going on. Your schedule's your schedule. You're going to do what you're going to do. It is you. You live alone. You do your own life. Coming into a situation, I could kind of understand it would be a hard thing to perceive what everybody else is doing and adapt to them. You live your life. I get it. Either way, the whole situation was not going to work. Everybody had said, put a deadline on saying by Sunday that he needed to go.
Everyone being me on the last episode?
Yeah, well, yeah. So you speak for a lot of people. Okay.
Did you give him the deadline of Sunday? Okay, first it was, you were supposed to, remember I said, you need to ask him, What day were you thinking about staying till?
I went there and I was kind of like, okay. So, I tried to do the very atypical, I'll get an answer out of you, Scott, maneuver where it's a conversation. I'm like, oh yeah, how long's the job do you think it's going to actually take to get wrapped up? What do you think in your timeline is? And that's when it hit. And he goes, I'm going to be leaving next Tuesday, heading out Wednesday morning, meaning an overnight of Tuesday. Now I'm like,
oh, now that's a week.
This is not going to fly. And again, it's if situations were 100% different and he was living alone and I was down there, and actually at the time there was someone that was visiting him, however they lived their own life. But if I was alone and then this would have been a completely different scenario. We would have been ships passing in the night. The reality to it is the house is not set up like that anymore. So now I have a dilemma on my hands. I'm like, well, I am not going to piss off my house, okay, and continue to keep it disrupted. And again, I'm not saying this in a rude sense to be like, this person's a bad person. I'm just saying I'd be dead. There's no way.
I gave you an excuse to use.
What did you? I forgot what it was.
I said that you ask him till when, and if he says after Sunday, say, okay, well, I can only accommodate you until Sunday because next week 6059's daughter is on spring break and she's coming to stay with us.
Yeah, I tried
because
that.
I thought you were going to be here earlier.
I tried that. Apparently, the week that I stayed there equated to a week stay at my house.
Right.
So
right.
now I'm getting a touch of guilt where it was like, well, this is,
Wait, you said the thing about the spring break?
I did. I said,
okay.
I said, there's a really good chance that 6059's daughter may be coming in for spring break. And I kind of used one of those, I might have to rearrange things a little bit, expecting him to go,
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, no problem. No, it was, I can sleep on a couch. I've done that before. I'm like, no, you're not getting it. Like, I'm dropping the hands here.
Oh, my God.
So the hands being dropped. I'm like,
if you don't remember, one of the things that we said last week was when you're a house guest and you've overstayed your welcome is if I'm doing 12 loads from the dishwasher and dusting the fan blades, you got to go.
Yeah.
So he's not picking up on any of the hints.
And now there's a little bit of guilt coming into play here, right?
Oh my God.
So I'm like, okay, because I'm going to tell you, I don't know about everybody else. I can only speak for myself here. Do you not pick up when there's an uncomfortable vibe around you?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it happens enough. No, see, now that was sarcasm, and I gave you the joke.
See, that's how you are at work. You always follow it up. I think I do. I don't think that I'm usually the one that makes people feel uncomfortable because I even put
those that do never really notice that. See again.
Right. I put an expiration date on staying with people, or like one time I had said to my best friend, hey, I might stay at your house for this around Christmas time. And I said, my parents are accommodating some other family members. I might stay at your house. And he was like, okay, I could hear it already. Okay, but we also have other family that is coming in that we have to accommodate them too.
You did it up front.
I did. Mm-hmm. And so I read the room and I was like, you know what? We'll just catch up one night while I'm in town. And that's it. Like I knew that he needed to prepare for his other family coming in. You read the freaking room, man.
That's what it comes down to, because it was even a comment made. Well, I'm not used to being around little kids and all that stuff. Then make an alternate plan, because one of three people is leaving and the two kids are not. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not trying to be nasty about this. You see the way I'm going.
This is my life.
I have more than accepted my whips and lashings from 6059 about this, and I'm not saying she's wrong. It is a feeling she had there, she's not wrong. I can't ignore that. That is her feeling to have. Mm-hmm. It does not matter if I say, well, this guy just won the Nobel Peace Prize. It does not matter. If it's not working, it's not working. But it also is the fact that our household is very different from what a bachelor's household would be when you have no accountability for time whatsoever and can make your own schedule and do whatever you want. That's just simply the way it is.
So then what happened?
Okay.
So he's like, oh, I could stay on the couch.
So then I'm realizing, because I've already had the talking with that it's like, this has to change. This cannot remain in place like this.
And what day was the talking?
Thursday of last week. So the talk had already happened, and I said I'll handle it. Mm-hmm. And I said, you got to give me a chance to do it. Now I'm going to take us to Friday of last week, and we had our normal schedule of our show. I think you were somewhere. Didn't you have to go? It doesn't matter. I don't remember where you were, but I don't think you were around. You were somewhere.
Yes, I left around noon last Friday.
So I'm now at a point where I have to figure out what to do with said house guests, because the hints aren't being picked up. Also, at the same time, I'm getting a bit of guilt, for what was offered, although I would have thought that it would have been seen. Oh, okay, I do understand where this is. It was a very nice gesture to make. This is me saying this. This is how I would react. Mm-hmm. It was a really great gesture. However, I can see where this is not quite as comfortable as it should be or working out. So I'm going to make some alternate plans. Well, since none of that was happening, I had to make the plan. Oh, God. Do you want the answer now, or do you want to take a break? Because I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah, let's take a quick 30 seconds. Just
okay.
30 seconds.
30
and that's
seconds,
it.
and you're going to find out how I dealt with it.
Okay. The Not For Air podcast is brought to you by Allison Aesthetics. What started out as me wanting juicier, plumper lips, well, then I found out that Allison Aesthetics was so much more. Got this amazing facial. You can see the glow there. And then a little bit of Botox just to get rid of some fine lines and wrinkles and prevent them too. And then I found out they do hair removal. Yes, please. And it didn't even hurt. I swear, it didn't hurt. Make sure you follow Allison Aesthetics online and book with them today.
Okay, we're back, and I told you we're going to give the answer here on this, because that was enough of the setup and me going, why are they not picking up that this is just not working because of the situations all around it, Mm-hmm. So I realized, I'm like, well, I don't have somebody I can call because he doesn't know. We don't travel in the same circles, so I can't call somebody.
Right, he's not staying at my spare bedroom.
Right, I can't call up Allie and be like, hey, our buddy's in town. Can we switch houses for a few days? You know what I mean?
I said, what he does for a living, he is here for work. They should be putting him up in a hotel.
I never really got that heavy into the stipend or whatever that he would have gotten. I think something was mentioned, but at this point now I'm going, I got to take action. Mm-hmm. So at 11 o'clock last Friday morning, I walked down to our general manager's office and I said, Dave.
Oh my God, you did not.
I have a bit of a situation on my hands. And I said, how would you like Scott to owe you a favor for down the road that you can call in whenever you want?
Oh my
for
God.
Any situation, I will owe you a one-time favor card. And
I know what's coming.
He goes, well, I kind of like that. What are you thinking? And I go, well, and I told him the story that was on both the last podcast and now this one. And I said, we still got trade at X Hotel, right? And he goes, yeah. And I go, could you put somebody up starting tonight through Tuesday night? And I said, again, I will owe you in a big way.
Oh, I can't wait till he cashes in on this.
And he goes, let me make a phone call. And I go, okay, I'll be around till about X time. Took a while. I had to walk back down there again. They haven't called back yet. And I'm like, oh, crap. All right. Because now I'm in panic mode. I'm like, oh, God, I can't, I'm basically being told that the house will go into it yet a different level of disarray if I don't figure this out, right? You know what I'm saying?
This makes sense. Last Friday, Scott kept saying, it was around the time of me leaving, Scott kept saying, we might need to record the podcast today. There might be a development.
Yes.
But I'm waiting for a text. I'm waiting to find something out.
Yeah.
So obviously you'd already gone down to the GM's office, and I didn't know that's what you were doing.
Yes.
And obviously you were waiting for him to tell you if there was a green light for go.
Yes.
Okay. Now that makes sense. And then I got to a point where I'm like,
I gotta go.
I'm not staying around here anymore.
Okay, now we go to that point. Green light came.
What time?
It was after you left. I don't remember.
No, I know it was after I left.
It was closer to 1 something, I think, in the afternoon that the green light came.
I was just wondering if the green light came like evening time while you guys were having dinner.
No, this had to be dealt with. This had to be dealt with before 6059 came home, or that would have been a whole different set of issues.
Wow. So he gave you a huge favor, and you only gave him what, a day and a half?
Now that's funny you mentioned that, because I got that same fucking guilt right back. So after I go,
it's true.
No, it's not, because the hotel that I got him into is an extremely nice hotel.
Yeah.
It's not the place where you do your purse party. It's another hotel.
I know which one you
But
use.
it is a very nice hotel.
It is.
The accommodations are nothing less than
impeccable.
Actually, to be honest with you, and I told him this, I said, to be honest with you, I think this is a better setup for you with your hours, because now I have to sell it to him.
Right.
I said, with your hours and your setup, you can come and go as you please. And it's your own space. You can do anything you want. All these are factual statements. Not one thing am I saying, even though I'm selling it to him.
And what did he say?
Well, and this had to be, unfortunately, via text. Thank God.
Scott.
Hold on.
Oh my God. You're such a coward.
So I had to call, though, and he goes, can I call you back? I'm in a meeting. And I go, yes, you can, but I just wanted to make sure you knew that you are set for this. I don't know how long your day is going to go today, because what I didn't want was all of a sudden it's 10 o'clock at night. Maybe he went out to dinner with some people or whatever, and the house is asleep. And then
he disrupts the house again. Yes.
Somebody's coming in, packing up stuff. We're not really awake. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I just wanted to.
And then all of a sudden he's there on Saturday for breakfast.
And I'm like, I just wanted to touch base, make sure you got all the information. By the way, it's 100% taken care of. The only thing you would have to do is if you decide you want to eat something or whatever, that's on you. But the room is 100% covered from tonight through Tuesday night. Live it up. That's literally, how the conversation went. And honestly, think about this. I could have just said, look, I'm sorry, this is not working. Can you find somewhere else to stay?
So speaking of that.
I went to the effort of making sure that it was well put together at a very nice place. I did not put him at a flea bag. I put him at, honestly, one of the top 5 places in the city.
Well, so speaking of that, what I think is really annoying, because
the guilt that I got for it?
There's 2 sides to this. What I think is really annoying is the fact that you're taking care of it, although his company should be. Plain and simple. But he also did you a favor about 8 months ago, and no, you're not fulfilling it back. Anyway,
I did what I could. You have to realize.
But how much of a shitbag does he feel that he's got to be put in a hotel?
But you're missing the point.
No, you're making me feel terrible.
If it was 8 months ago and situations were completely different, it would have worked. The difference is this was here, this is here. It's night and day. So why can't you pick up on that? Why is that so hard to figure out? This just ain't working.
Because you basically
do you like making people uncomfortable?
Because you make me feel like a shitbag. Like. You have to go.
No, I feel like the shitbag because I made an initial offer that you can't pick up, that it's just not working out. But yet I take my time and I make take my connections.
My 2 seconds on the phone.
Shut up. And take my connections to set you up free of charge, unless you decide to eat free of charge, no money out of your pocket.
Nice hotel, yeah.
Okay, just like, I didn't ask for money to stay at my house. Why would I do that? I would never do that.
Yeah.
So everything in my mind is, and this is better. You can sit in your fucking underwear if you want in your own hotel room and not be worried about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, this is totally a win-win. I took my time to get it set up and have it totally arranged so that the inconvenience was at a minimal. You have to leave the job part of it out as far as they could put them up, because I was the one that originally said, come on up. He may have told them, no, I don't need you to book me a hotel. Sure. Then that would have been,
right. Sometimes you have to go through paperwork for that too.
This is a personal deal. Well, I personally dealt with it. Now, this is where I got pissed off, okay? So he goes, well, I'll tell you what, my bag's on the bed in the bedroom. Why don't you just throw the stuff that's on the bed in it? There was only a couple things, and take it down to the entryway of the house. I'll come get it because I don't know, it might be 9 something at night because I'm doing yada, 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 blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Okay, that's great. I'll put it down there. And I very neatly, gently put it down there. It's not like I just threw everything in. I made sure that it looked as orderly as possible without rifling through his underwear, because that's not my place.
Yeah.
So I put it down there. All right, let's go to 9:30 at night. You ready for this one?
What?
All right, the house is quiet at this point, okay?
Yes.
And it
You're
really
probably dozing.
I am. I mean, this is the end of a week. I'm sorry. We get up at 4 a.m. I wish I had a roaring weekend, staying up till 2 a.m. So it doesn't happen. So we're all laying down. All of a sudden, headlights pull in the driveway. Freaking music's bumping as loud as it can. I'm like, oh. I hear the door open. I hear the, that's all I can hear. It's down, still lower level. So I hear the door open.
Yeah.
Obviously, things are being collected. On the way out, pulling out of the driveway at a high rate of speed, bam, 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 bam. I'm like, okay, so you're going to pull the immature route. You're going to be pissed at me for taking care of you when I tried to take care of you the way we originally arranged, and now you're going to be pissed at me because I got you totally set up, and you're going to drop a line on me. Well, Scott, this is nothing at all of what you promised. You're right, because I have a 4.5-year-old and a 9 3/4-year-old, and I have a significant other that you've now creeped the fuck out because you've walked around and followed her around and turned around corners when she's there. So you know what I say? Good riddance, get the fuck out.
So that means,
how do you like me now?
That means this.
I went out of my way. I did something really nice. Don't shit on my parade. If I would have kicked you out and said, this isn't working, go find somewhere else to go, you know what? Shit on my parade. Wait. At this point now, I set you up and you're still shitting on my parade.
Wipe your
Eat
chin.
a bag of dicks.
You wipe your chin. You got spit on your chin.
God
You're so,
damn it, I'm pissed.
You're so riled.
Well, you see what I'm saying? That's
flying everywhere.
Freaking nuts.
Oh my
Cheers.
God.
Water in here.
Oh, so your friendship is over.
I am not reaching out for some period of time.
Oh, you know what? I don't think it's over. I think that you're somebody who does get very mad in the moment, rightfully so. That was a dick move.
What, on my part or the whole?
No, the honking.
Thank you.
The kids are sleeping
Thank
and everything.
I get it. You're a little bit disjointed by the fact that you had to rearrange the address you're going to be at.
But it really
honestly,
is
the
not
hotel
that-
room's just as freaking nice as the room you were in. Actually, nicer because there's not kid shit in it.
Right, exactly. It's much nicer.
And you can walk around in your underwear. I don't give a shit if you walk the hotel hallways in your underwear. Let the cameras pick that up.
He's just pissed because he gave you this lengthier favor. So anyway.
But it was a different time.
I know,
and a
I
different
know.
place. I thought it might work. Clearly, it was not, because everybody's life is in a different place.
Right. No, I understand. But I do think that he did the dickiest thing right there by that. The kids have nothing to do with it. And you possibly waking them up, and the neighbors. Like, this is where I live. Now you're going to cause a ruckus in my neighborhood. Like, I don't want to be that neighbor. So
I mean, I still feel we're missing the biggest part here. Every single thing was handled. Everything.
Oh, no, I know.
It was a complete, hey, buddy, I just want to let you know, everything's handled. Nothing out of pocket for you. We're totally covered here. I'm sorry, and I apologize. I'm sorry it's not working the way that it is. That's it.
So, but I think that
if I didn't handle it, you could say I'm a dick.
I think eventually you're mad now. I think that you are
I'm mad because of his reaction to the whole situation.
Okay.
Not observing what was going on.
Okay, can I talk now?
Ignoring it. Yeah,
I mean,
don't miss the big points.
No, believe me, I've heard them 3 times now.
Okay,
I know.
You want
I know.
4?
So not really. What I think that is going to happen is that you are a pretty forgiving person. I think that eventually,
I guess we'll see how forgiving he is.
Okay, I'm not talking. I'm done.
Go ahead.
No, thank you. No, you're not going to listen. So what does it matter?
I'm listening.
No.
I'll shut my mic.
No, I'm done. Okay.
I'm done.
Bye.
Well, that was fun. Wasn't that fun? That was fun. Do us a favor, will you? Subscribe. Share the Scott and Alley Not for Air podcast. Touch our buttons. We know you want to.